What is up, meal prepping family? It's Bobby, and today we are gonna make some stuffed peppers because Desi absolutely loves that dish, but I thought it'd be fun if we ketoize them and make them low carb. So we're stripping out the rice that's normally in the filling and putting a bunch of veggies in there. It's a crazy easy recipe that is monstrous on flavor, and I know you're gonna love it. So let's do it. Keto stuffed peppers. Ground beef and pork studded with zucchini, walnuts, and herbs, baked inside bell peppers in a tomato sauce. So here's the deal. If you love straight up delicious meal prepping that is so easy to make, click that little subscribe button, and even better, that little bell button that's right below that, click that too. You will be part of the notification squad because every Friday morning we're going live on my channel, and I want you to be a part of the Flav City community. All right, this recipe starts with bell peppers, but before we get to that, I'm gonna push them aside. And I'm preheating a large nonstick pan over medium-high heat. I'm gonna add a couple teaspoons of avocado oil, then add half an onion that's been finely chopped, half a teaspoon of dried thyme, and then to bulk up the veggies and keep it keto friendly, I chopped up one medium zucchini here. I'm gonna add that to the pan, along with half a teaspoon of salt and a few cracks of black pepper. All right, give that a mix up. Now we can get cracking on the peppers. I have 6 bell peppers here, half green, half red. This kind of requires a little bit of effort. I have to cut open the pepper, de-stem them, de-seed them. These bear paws are really clumsy, and for these kind of applications, I don't even trust myself. So Desi, can you please assist us and take care of the finer details?
If I have to.
Come on.
All right, babe, let's see how that's done.
Do it to it, babe.
All right, so I'll just cut straight through the top, and that looks good. And I'll just take out the seeds, right, babe?
Yeah, see, Desi has the finer bear paws. I guess in the meantime, I'll just stir the pan here. Make myself somewhat useful.
Let's do the red one now.
Okay. You want to take out more of those membranes?
Okay.
You're usually
take out the membranes.
The stickler for the details.
These look good.
Beautiful. Those are nice. There's still 4 more here.
All right, let me finish those.
Let's do this week's trivia in the meantime. What do you think has less net carbs, red or green bell peppers? Pause the video now and leave the comment below. And here's why I love the answer to the trivia. It's green. First of all, green peppers are like the Rodney Dangerfield of the pepper family. They literally get no respect. People are all like, ooh, orange, ooh, red, ooh, yellow. Green bell peppers have such little net carbs, and they're delicious. Some people
Not
find
so
them,
much flavor though.
That's what people think, but when you saute them or roast them in the oven in a bed of tomato sauce like we're gonna do, they're delicious and they're cheaper than all the other bell peppers. They're like the ugly sister of the family that everyone overlooks.
I don't know if I like this analogy.
All right, we'll personalize that. It's like the kid in kindergarten who gets picked last for a kickball. That wasn't me, I was picked in the middle, by the way. I had a left foot like nobody's business. Nice.
All right, here we go. Does that look good, babe?
Looks amazing.
All right.
Thank you. All right, you guys, it's been about 10 minutes, and look inside the pan. You can see the zucchini and the onions have really wilted down. Now we can go in with a couple cloves of garlic that I finely minced, a 1/4 cup of chopped walnuts. So like I said earlier, the traditional stuffed peppers have rice or sometimes couscous as the filler. Those have a ton of starch and carbs, but I do want some kind of filler and some kind of texture, and the walnuts are gonna act for that perfectly. Yes, they're gonna act as a starring role. Next up, go in with half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and a tablespoon of tomato paste. Not only do I love tomato paste in the squeeze tube, I just think it's really cool, but tomato paste will add a real depth of flavor to this dish, and you always wanna cook the tomato paste and your spices for a couple minutes in the fat over medium-high heat. It kind of blooms the essential oils in the spices, and it makes that tomato flavor even more deep, even more rustic. It's delicious. The smells of those spices are perfuming the kitchen. Now, I want to take a little bit of chicken stock, splash that in just to loosen up everything. And that mixture is done. Now let's move on to the protein in this bowl in front of me. I have 3/4 pound of ground beef and 3/4 pound of ground pork. A lot of recipes for stuffed peppers that I see just use beef, but I like cutting that with fatty, delicious, juicy ground pork because it makes the mixture lighter and not so dense like a golf ball. To make it even less golf ball-like, I'm gonna de-bling and crack in 1 egg to the mixture. Then add just under a teaspoon of kosher salt and a few cracks of black pepper. And then mix up everything really well with your hands. I think this bowl is too small. I always do that. I always put way too much quantities in my bowls. Once again, see? I'm not lying about the bear paws. It's a real problem. Now we need to add the vegetable mixture. My hands are a little smushy, but luckily Art is in the house today and he went to culinary school, right?
Sure.
So maybe Art can throw this in for me. And Art, some people might be like, you're putting hot veg into cold beef. Is there like a contamination problem here? What do you say?
I say no, because this is all going to get cooked anyways.
Exactly, so don't freak out. If you're gonna store these in the fridge for a couple hours, you have to let this cool down. Otherwise, just shove away. Perfect. Now, how do I touch this?
It's pretty hot.
The piping hot veggies with my hands. Maybe I should use a spoon here, yeah. All right. And then mix up all the veggies with the beef. And now I can switch to my hands that the veggies have cooled down a little bit. Not only is Art handy in the kitchen, he's also the most eligible bachelor in Chicagoland, right, Art? That's going in, baby. Email him at. There is no script. What are you talking about? We don't have a script. All right, wash your hands very well. Then I'm going to take the peppers, get them out of the baking dish. Pour in some canned crushed tomatoes. Add a half a teaspoon of kosher salt, a few cracks of black pepper. Give that a mix up. Then add the peppers back to the baking dish. Then grab some scoops of the meat mixture. Add that to the bell pepper and keep going until it's packed in really tight and the top is nice and smooth. So the tomato sauce is going to do 2 things. Number 1, it's going to reduce and create a beautiful sauce for us to spoon over the peppers at the end, and it's going to keep the peppers nice and moist. And make sure you buy just plain tomatoes. Make sure they don't have a marinara sauce because it's going to have a lot of sugar and that's going to jack up the carbs. By treating this like a meatloaf and actually putting raw mixture into the peppers, it's going to cook for about an hour. The meat mixture is going to cook perfectly and the peppers will cook through perfectly too. That way you can eat a juicy soft pepper as opposed to like a hard one. All right, the last pepper is stuffed. They look perfect. Now let's put some tin foil over the top. And then this guy goes in a 350-degree oven on top of a sheet tray in case it boils over for 1 hour. All right, you guys, it's been 1 hour exactly. I took the tin foil off after 30 minutes. Look at that meat, it's starting to get nice and golden on top. And more importantly, the peppers are starting to cook, starting to get soft and soak up all of that goodness from the tomato sauce. All right, but now is the time we get cheesy. So in this bowl, I have a combination of cheddar cheese and Parmesan. Just use any melting cheese you want. Make sure it's full fat. I happen to have cheddar in my fridge and a little bit of salty, nutty Parmigiano Reggiano is always a good idea. So I'm gonna top each of the peppers with a good amount of cheese. These look really good. All right, now I'm gonna pop this guy back in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. Who's cooking here, me or you? About 20 minutes, yes. You guys, not only does this look unbelievable, it smells like a pepperoni pizza. All of us are salivating right now. The cheese is golden brown, the peppers are soft, that sauce is reduced and bubbling. The only thing we have to do now is wait a few minutes so I don't burn my mouth off, and then we're devouring this. Grab one of the peppers. Man, that looks so good. Put it down onto a plate, and then spoon a generous amount of tomato sauce all around, and then a little fresh parsley for garnish. And there it is, you guys, low carb, keto friendly stuffed peppers. The house smells like a pizzeria right now, but there ain't no carbs in sight. It's still a little hot, but I'm willing to do it. I'm gonna burn my mouth for the sake of this thing that you and I have right here. Let's do it. It's a big bite, but it was worth it. Oh my God. Guys, come on. For God's sake. Get over here, Art.
Wait, it's been too long.
Oh my God. You guys, the peppers are cooked through perfectly. They still have a little crunch. The meat and the pork has so much sabor. It's loco en mi cabeza.
Oh my God,
The sauce
so good.
is really nice. right? Everything is seasoned perfectly. Dang. And that cheese, the melt of cheese on top.
Oh yeah.
You guys, you need this recipe in your life. It is below in the description box. When you make it, tag me on social media, tag Desi, tag Art. Let everyone know they need to get this keto meal in their belly ASAP. You're gonna burn your hands off if you do. If you wanna see 2 more pretty epic ketos, they're streaming below me right now, but we'll see you next week. Until then, hashtag keep on cooking. Peace. All right, let's eat this.